Hello. Hello, guys. Welcome to the live question and answer session for our Family Rights in 2023. I remain your host, Mbazu Chibuzo Emmanuel, and I welcome every one of you watching from all over the world joining us this morning. Please do us a favor, do me a favor, share this broadcast right now with your friends, family, and everybody you know so that we have more people on this broadcast. And remember, if you have any question, because obviously this is a question and answer session, if you have any question, please do well to drop them in the comment section down below, and then we'll read them out. And our facilitator is here to answer all of your questions. So we have Mr. Olakunle Olatunji here with us already. So I'll add him to the stream and then you can see him. Hello, welcome, sir. Good day. It's good to have you in the broadcast. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. So it's good to have you in the stream. Welcome. We have a lot of questions already right here in our comment section. So I will just read some of them out. All right. I'll read some of them out and then we'll provide answer. We believe that in the next 10, 15 to 20 minutes, we should be done with this whole session. So let's get straight into the point. The first question is from Mr. Asa Kennedy. Asa Kennedy is asking, how long have you been growing cucumber on this piece of land? Won't the soil nutrients deplete if you plant the same crop every year on the same piece of land? So how long have you been growing cucumber
Okay.
under your plot? Yeah.
Well, there's the training farm on the video that I use on the training video. I've been using that particular farm for the past, I think it's going to 3 to 4 years now that I've been practicing on it, and
Wow.
still I'm still having a very good yield. Yes, like you said, the soil nutrients will reduce quite all right. It's a normal thing. But if you know what you're doing, if you know what you're supposed to add to the soil, you understand there is a way that you boost your soil back, even if you are planting the same types of crops every now and then. You understand? There
Wow.
is always a
Yes.
saying that jack of all trade, master of none. If you
No.
keep
Yes.
planting the same, yes, if you keep planting the same crops, there is no way you are not going to be an expert on it. It's when you know that, okay, fine, these crops, you're already an expert, that you're supposed to move to another, because each crop has its own headache. That's where most of
Yes.
the farmers get it all wrong. They wanted to plant different things at the same time. You understand? They wanted to plant cucumber, they wanted to plant ugu, they wanted to plant sweet corn, they wanted to plant tomato at the same time. And all
Yes.
these things has what it takes to make them do very well. So
Yeah.
using the same land for a longer period of time doesn't mean you are not going to have a good harvest at every time you plant. So far, you know what and what to add to your soil to boost the soil. Like in my own farm, I make use of manures a lot. I make use of it. Anytime I wanted to plant, I make use of manure. I make use of a lot of things in my farm. So that I'm very sure that, okay, fine, I will always have a very great harvest. For example, if you look at my back, you will still see I'm planting cucumber right now. You
Yeah.
understand? And you can see that they are doing very well. And this is in the dry season. So for them to be as this green during this sunning period, you can know that, okay, fine, definitely we are doing something that is right. You understand?
Yes.
So that is that's just it. So I believe I've answered the question.
Yes, you have. You have. You have.
All right.
So we have another question. Let me get on the screen. So we have our next question. Our next question is from WhatsApp. Okay, it's a phone number. So the phone rather the question is: do you use herbicides? If not, how do you control weeds on your farm? Do you use chemical herbicides on your farm to control weeds?
Yes, of course.
If
I
not,
do make use of it. once in a while, but not every time. You understand? I do make use of it. The thing is, if I wanted to
Well,
use herbicide, we have a contact herbicide and then we have a systemic herbicide.
yeah,
So it depends on the crops that you wanted to plant. For example, if I wanted to like plant any crops, what I normally do is just that I use herbicide before I plant the crops. After the weeding, after the ridges, I make sure that I spray herbicide on top of
yeah.
the soil on top of my
The
bed,
soil.
so that it won't allow the what's it called, it won't allow all these unwanted grasses to grow immediately or to compete with whatever you wanted to plant. So
It's not.
I make use of them at the start of the planting session, but I control other aspects with by weeding manually. I control that aspect by weeding manually. So if I apply herbicide at the start of my planting, what I normally do is that I do weeding every 2 weeks in my farm. But during the rainy season, I make sure that I will do the weeding every every week, because it's not all the workers that knows how to use herbicide when your crops are already coming out, or when your plants are already germinating. Yes, there is a way you can use it, but if you don't use it well, it will as well kill the plant. So me, I don't even encourage it. I just use it at the beginning of my planting session. Before I plant, I spray herbicide. Then after that, I don't spray any herbicide again. We control the weed manually. So, and that's what we do. So I believe that question has been answered.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so we have many more questions here. So we'll just rush up on the answers and then fill up. So we have another question from Benedict Johnson. Benedict Johnson is asking, do you spray your crops for pests and diseases? Right? If not, how do you control pests and diseases? Just like herbicides. You have you spray for pests and diseases.
Okay. Yeah, I do spray my crops. Even that's one of the major things that I do on the farm. I don't joke with pesticide. That's one of the things I do encourage with farmers. If you don't spray your crops with necessary pesticide, then definitely you are going to have a problem. So I do spray my crops often enough. Even I have a spraying routine for every crops that I planted in my farm. You understand? I spray insecticide, I spray fungicide, I spray organic fertilizer, all these foliar fertilizers. I do spray. Yes, I spray in my farm. And then for those that are not practicing inorganic farming, that wanted to practice organic farming, yes, there is no way you are not still going to spray, because we still have organic pesticide. We have organic insecticide, organic fungicide. It's just that it's much more expensive than the inorganic one. So there is no way you are not going to spray your farm. You want your farm to do very well, and you don't even want to spray. You are joking. You have to spray on your farm. There is no way you can control any disease on the farm. You understand? The only way that I know of to control a disease on the farm is just that you feed your soil nutrient very well. If you feed your soil nutrient very well before you plant, you feed your soil with the necessary nutrient, like the manure. I normally use chicken manure in my farm. I make sure that I put enough chicken manure on the farm before I even planted anything. And then I follow it up with the necessary feeding routine, which is the nutrients. Either it's a foliar fertilizer, the inorganic fertilizer. I make use of them in the farm regularly, because the plants, they need nutrients to survive. And the only nutrients the only food that the plants understand is if you give them the necessary nutrients for them to use. You as a human being, if you are not eating, what's going to happen? You understand? You started looking thin, and if you're not careful, you die off. So as a plant also, you are not feeding them, you are not spraying them for them to have a very for you to have a very good yield, and you said you are not feeding them, at the end of the day you are not going to have a good yield. So it's very necessary that you spray inside the farm, and then you give them the necessary nutrients as at when due. That's the reason why I said in my the previous video, I said when you wanted to plant any crops that you wanted to plant, make sure go and look for an expert in it that will guide you through. So the expert will be able to tell you the feeding routine and then the spraying routine of each of every crops. You understand? There is no way you are going to bypass that. You want your farms to do well, definitely you must feed your plants and then you must spray them. All right.
All right, thank you very much for that wonderful answer. So our next question is from the agro guy. He's asking, I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right, so the agro guy is asking, do you add synthetic or petrochemical based fertilizers to feed your crops? If not, what do you feed them? I think you just answered this question.
Yes, I've already answered it, but I will just chip in a little things also. Yes, I do use synthetic petrochemical based fertilizers. But what I do in my farm is just that I mix them together. I balance the equation. After
Okay.
using the organic, I use the synthetic based fertilizer also. I balance the two. So that's
Mm.
what I do in the farm. And I don't use only one major fertilizer. You know, we have a lot of fertilizers, but people only know about the
Yeah.
NPK. NPK is not only the fertilizer that we have, or urea. Those are not the only fertilizer we have. We have the calcium nitrate, we have MOP, we have magnesium salt. You understand? We have calcium nitrate, we have potassium nitrate, different types of fertilizer. So when you know, and each of these plants, they need most
Something
of all
else.
these nutrients for them to do very well. You understand? You are planting tomato
Okay.
and you
Yeah.
are saying you are not going to use a calcium based fertilizer. You understand? Tomato that is a perishable good, a perishable
Plant.
vegetable. You
Crop.
understand? And you don't want to use a calcium based fertilizer. There is no way. At the end of the day, when you started harvesting, you see that they started rotting easily. But if you use a calcium based fertilizer, that's what makes it to be very, very solid. Likewise, cucumber also. You need all those things. And we still have some organic based materials that has all these nutrients in them. You understand?
Wow.
And
Yes.
when you wanted to know about most of all these things, if you do well to contact us, then we are going to guide you through on each of all these organic based materials that
Materials.
has doing them. You understand?
Oh,
So
yes.
I use a synthetic based fertilizer. There is no way you are not going to
All
use
right.
it.
All right. So I think this is a good place to mention that our trainer, Mr. Olakunle Olatunji, is an expert in vegetable farming, and he's also a trainer. So if you need some of this training personally, you want to grow a crop, you want to go into cucumber farming, pepper farming, or sweet corn farming, whatever kind of farming that has to do with crop cultivation, he is the go-to person to meet, and then he's going to guide you on what to do so that you achieve so much success in your farm. So you don't need to really just rely on yourself and just so much knowledge. You already have an expert that you can always reach out to. So reach out to him. All right. I'm going to add his contact in the description below. So when you check the description, you're going to see his contact. You can reach out to him, follow him, call him at any time of the day. I believe he'll be there to answer all of your questions one on one. But make sure you have something for consultancy. I believe you should charge. All right, but he does not charge so much. So it's a fair deal. You can always get something great with what you have. Now let's go to the next question. The agro guy is asking again, what are the major challenges you face while growing crops, and how did you manage them? So, what are major challenges you faced, right?
Mhm.
As a
There
farmer.
are a lot of challenges. Oh. I always tell people, farming is not for the faint-hearted. You understand? Like, it's just like every other
Yeah.
job. There is no way you are not going to face difficulties or challenges in farming. But if you know what to do, you are going to overcome the challenges. You understand? We face a lot of challenges from the workers to the disease management, water management, a lot of it, a lot of it. Just like I said earlier in the training video, I face a kind of challenges recently, and I'm still facing it right now. The fuel scarcity. You understand? Just imagine how much you're paying for. This is my training farm that on a normal day
Mm.
within a week, I don't normally use past maybe 7,000 to 8,000 fuel within a week. I'm now using close to 25,000. I don't budget for that before. You understand? And then most times you don't have control over what you're going to sell them
Whoa.
because these things are perishable. You understand? Most of all these vegetables, they are perishable, and it's what we consume every day. Tomato is a perishable goods.
True.
What's it called? Pepper, they are perishable crops. You
Yeah.
you talk of the living vegetables too. Okra, all these normal vegetable, ugu. You
Cucumber.
understand? If you harvest them and you don't
Pepper.
sell them off immediately, they are going to start dwindling down.
Yeah.
You understand? Unless you have maybe a coolant, you understand that you can store them, and that one you will have to have enough money for you to be able to build a very big refrigerating this thing that will be
Mm.
able to be storing your farm produce. But
For storing
how
your
many
hand.
farmer have access to that? You understand?
Yes.
So that's where we expect the government to come in, but the governments are not doing anything. You understand? So
Storage.
we face a lot from bad roads network, how you're going to link your produce, how to take it down to the market is always a problem at times. So, but if you work with someone that have already passed the road before, that know what he's doing, he's just going to guide you how you're going to be doing it so that you are not going to run at loss. But if you go in blindfolded, my brother, you will
I
be sorry
think.
for yourself,
Wow.
because farming is a very good profession. Yes, farming is good. There is money in farming, there is money in agriculture as a whole.
True. True.
You just have to know the right things to do. So that is it. We face a lot of crisis, a lot of crisis that comes in every now and then, from water, from workers. If you don't have a good workers, your family is not going to do well, and you cannot do all those things yourself. You understand? So they are the backbone of your farm. And if you have a miserable workers, then your farm will be miserable too. Even though you are doing everything that you are supposed to do. For example, a worker that was supposed to spray something, and then the worker said he forgot to spray it. You are not there. They did not spray it. They are supposed to give them water. They are not giving them water. There is a problem. So, but there is a way we manage it. That's the reason why I said your workers, don't treat them like an outsider. They are part of you. You understand? When you take them as a family, definitely they will take you as a family also, and they will take care of your farm too. So those are one of the things I do encourage incoming farmers or farmers that have been there. Try to take care of your farm workers because they are the backbone of it. So we face a lot of challenges, a lot. So, but at least we maneuver ourselves through it. We scale through it. So I believe anybody can scale through it. Every works on this planet Earth.
Hello.
Hello?
Okay.
Like
Yes,
the
I got
network
a
is
bit.
failing somehow.
Yeah, it disconnected me a bit just now. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
just go to the next question. I heard what you said, all right, about the challenges, and then it calls for everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, so this calls for everyone to, it becomes very important for everyone to actually get somebody who is going to lead them. There is a need for you to gain knowledge, all right? Have not just knowledge, because it's one thing to learn, and it's another thing for that person who you learn for to be there for you, to support you, and to guide you in case you have difficulties in your farm, because difficulties will abound when it comes to farming generally, all right? Difficulty will abound. You face a lot of challenges, but then you need an expert, somebody who has gone through these phases before, that is going to walk you through all of them. So it's very, very easy for you. Now, we have Mr. Olakunle Olatunji. He's a trainer, all right? It must not be him. If you have somebody in your area that you trust as a farmer who can guide you, good and fine, you can do that. But if not, I highly recommend that you reach out to somebody like Mr. Olatunji, who is the CEO of Olatfarms. They have a training center, like where he is making this video from right now is his training farm, and all the other videos on the channel that you've seen so far, they are just training farm. That's just the farm he used for training. So you can actually learn from him, and then use his mentorship in the long run to build your own farm. So we are down to three questions, and we would like to finish them as quickly as possible. Let's check the next one. We have Mr. Philip Mbazu. Mr. Philip Mbazu is asking, how many bags of cucumber can I get from an acre of land if I if everything is done right, following your instructions? So how many bags of cucumber can you get? Did you get
Well,
the question?
to answer that question, well, it depends on how you take care of your farm.
Okay.
Um, it depends on how you take care of your farm, but on a normal circumstances, and then most of this thing depends on the plant.
We can't hear you again. You are muted.
People who
Hello?
said, I plant an acre of a cucumber, I plant an acre of tomato. What's the
Okay.
population of the plants that you planted? Some people will plant 10,000, 12,000 plant populations on their 1 acre. Why some will plant 5,000? So you can't expect the yield from the ones that plant 12,000 population. You can't compare it with what you're going to get with someone that plants 5,000. But they will both says they plant 1 acre. So that is where land management comes in.
Managers.
You
Yes.
make full use of your land. For example, this is my training farm. This is like a three plots. If I plant, I normally put up to like a 7,000 plants on this particular farm. So,
Yes.
and most times I reach up to 200, at times over
Wow.
200 right supervision, under the right plant population. An acre of a cucumber farm should give you nothing less than 400. But in my
400
farm,
bags.
we got at least close to, yes, 400, nothing less than
Okay.
it. But in my farm, we got close to like a 500, 600.
Wow. Your
You
training
understand?
farm
So it
with
depends
three
on,
plots.
it depends. Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it
That
depends
is
on how you
huge.
take care of your farm and how you feed them. And then the plant populations on the farm. It's not about the land
Size.
ability on your farm.
Okay.
So those are the things that will tell or whether you are going to have a good harvest or not.
All right. So the plant population,
Yeah.
how you feed the plant and how you take care of them will determine the outputs or the quantity of the bags
Yes.
of cucumber that you can make from the farm. All right, that's wonderful. So let's go to the last two questions. I wish you can finish this before in next 6 minutes. So E Ndodim is asking, is it advisable to use irrigation on a plot of land that is like 50 by 100?
Of course, I don't
Yeah.
even encourage you planting without irrigation. Even if
All
it's
right.
half plot, make sure that you put an irrigation there. You understand? So
Okay.
it's the best. You understand? It's the best.
All right. Always plant with irrigation. That's the best. All right. Our final question before we call it a wrap. We have E Ndodim is asking again, how many drip tapes do I need to set up irrigation for an acre of land?
Well, it depends. Like I said, for example, in my own farm, I use up to like 4 drip tapes because I put 2 drip tapes, as in 2,000 meters. You understand? Because we have 2,000 meters, we have 5,000 meters,
Yeah.
rows of drip tapes. In my own farm, I use close to four rows because I put a double tape on my ridges. I don't use one tape
Okay.
because I wanted to maximize my farm inputs. The plant populations, I wanted to maximize them. If you use one drip tape, definitely the plant populations that will be there will not be much.
No.
So me,
Yeah.
I use 2 drip tapes on a bed. So if you are using 2 drip tapes on a bed, so definitely you will use up to that. So you
Oh.
will use up to that. So
Okay.
it depends on how you want to set up your farm or divide your farm, or how you want your farm to be maximized. You understand? So
Yeah.
that's it. Some will use two drip tapes, but in my own farm, it's over 3.5, close to 4 rows of drip tape
All those. Okay.
that I
Okay.
use
Great.
for an acre because there is
All
a
right. So,
2 drip tape on a bed.
all right. I think we are done with all the questions here. So I'll just ask you one final question personally. All right. So, I'm just having this imagination that there is somebody who has maybe a plot of land with that the size is just 50 by 100, because many people here may own plot of land, but they don't have the money to build at the moment, and they feel like they can use it and turn the farmland into turn the empty plot of land into a farmland. What do you think is going to cost them to set up a standard cucumber farm on a single plot of farm, including the drip tapes, or that's like including the, what do you call it, setting up laying the drip tapes rather, cultivating the land, getting the worker, and maybe let's remove the cost of water, because I know you need to drill a borehole, and that's a huge cost. Let's say they already have water sorted out, but every other thing, what do you think will be like the cost an estimate?
Well, right now in Nigeria, you can't even give an estimated cost for anything because every
Yes,
day the price of things goes up and it's crazy.
very
You
high,
understand?
very
It's very,
very
very,
high.
very crazy. Just imagine the amount that I spent on agro input just last 2 weeks is very, very alarming. You understand?
Hmm.
When I budgeted like 400,000 for agro input, I end up to later spend close to 700,000. So
Wow.
just imagine. So if I should be giving an estimate now, you understand?
It won't work.
When you are going to be ready, you might not even find those stuffs at that rate again, because every day things keep getting higher in Nigeria. So you can't even give a cost. But let me just put it this way: at least an estimated cost of, let me just say, maybe close to 300,000, depending, for you to set it
Okay.
up. You get an irrigation tape. You are going
All
to
right.
get a 2 inches PVC pipe.
Yeah, I'll lay them. Oh,
Or
I
maybe you
think
get
it,
a
your network is beginning to break, but I think we are getting what he's saying.
Okay, yeah. So the
Okay.
thing is, you can't even say now. So, but at
All right.
least up to that. Mm.
Okay, so 300,000 is a fair price to start on a single plot of land. So
And
that's
you might not
wonderful.
you might not
We,
spend up to that. You might not spend up to that. Oh, but when you are going
yes,
to
it's
buy
just an
pumping
estimate
machine,
because of the time.
just an estimate to get pumping machine, the binding wires, the thread rope, the seeds, the fertilizers. You understand? You might not spend all
And
up to
some of
that. You
them
might
are
spend
reusable,
even more
right?
than that. You said?
Some of them are reusable. Like
Yes,
you
of
can use
course.
them again.
Like the drip tapes, you can use it for close to like almost 3 4 years, depending on how you
Wow.
manage it.
Okay.
And
Okay. Okay.
so that's just it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Olakunle Olatunji of Olatfarms. Thank you very, very much for joining this broadcast today. And thank you for answering all of those questions because I think it's like the heaviest questions in the hearts of people at the moment. So thank you for your time. Thank you
Yeah,
for showing up. Thank you for the lecture. It was a very beautiful 39 minutes. I watched everything to the end. It was really, really wonderful.
yeah.
You sharing your experience. And yes, that's one thing I said I wanted to ask you for that period where yeah, that stuff that happened 3 years ago where your farm something happened to your water and then did you recover like maybe make money or a little profit from that despite the losses that you showed to us?
No, it was a total loss. Oh. It was a total loss on that
Oh,
particular. Yes, because I have to pay the workers because it's not their fault. They did all their
wow,
best.
wow.
You understand? I pay them, and from that this I don't think I see up to like 5 bags. You understand? It was a total loss. Yes. So I have to
That's a
restart back
disaster.
again. But at the end
Wow.
of the day, when we rectify the water issue, we do the necessary things, then we recover the money back. You understand? But
Oh,
that particular planting, it was a total loss. It was a total loss.
oh,
So the
sorry about
one thing about
that.
farming, one
But
thing about
at least
farming
you've
and
learned your
agriculture.
lesson.
Yes, of course. One thing about
Yes.
farming and agriculture is just that whenever you have a challenges, just don't give up. You understand? You just keep pushing. At the end of the day, that money that you lose, you are going to see it in a multiple fold.
Yeah.
You understand? That's one thing about agriculture. And I wanted to advise people. You see all this training that
Yeah.
Mr. Kibuzo do arrange for you guys. Don't take it for granted. Just try whatever that you gain from it. Make sure that you apply it. It's not easy to see a free training. You understand? For people to be organizing a free training, I know what it goes through
At all.
to
It's not
be able
easy.
to set up these
Mm.
things. You understand? It's not easy. It's not easy calling people and then bringing people on and then passing an information to you guys. You guys should not take it for granted. If we have this type of opportunity, then maybe the kind of laws that we make when we started, we wouldn't have make it. And that's the reason why we are trying that. Okay, get someone to walk you through the path. Agriculture is very, very sweet, but just have someone that will walk you through the path,
Make
and then
them,
you won't
yes.
regret it. All right, thank you. Yeah.
True. Very, very.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. I wanted to say she said the last one, but you already said everything. Like, thank you very much for that wonderful advice. And
Yes,
now
you're
I'll
welcome.
switch to solo so that I can say goodbye to the audience. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Olakule Olatunji. I remember, guys, if you want to be
Oh,
trained by him, you can always reach out to him. His contact will be in the description below. So just check the description. You can get his contact. Call him for all of your crop cultivation issues. You want to start your own farm or you want to fix something in your farm, you can always call him. So thank you very, very much, Mr. Olakule Olatunji. Thank you for honoring this invitation. Thank you for taking time to answer all our questions. All right. Thank you very much,
all
sir.
right. You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much for showing up. Thank you for watching this session to this minute. It's been a wonderful ride so far. All right. Make sure to click on the pinned link in the comment section. There's a pinned link there so that you watch the full session where Mr. Olakunle Olatunji shared with us, the recipes for success in crop cultivation. All right, in this new planting season. So make sure you watch the entire video and make sure you use your notes to record things. It's good to always write out things so that you don't need to go back to watch it over and over again. But it's still a good thing to watch it over again so he sees his mistake and see the strategies he's applying on his farm. All right, and there are other videos on the channel that you can watch that's going to help you to become better in your farming in this new planting season in the new year. All right, so watch all the videos. The ones you are interested in, we have a video or a session which we took on food exportation or how to sell food start up your own food stuff business. We have on plantain farming, we have snake farming. All right, and we've done so much more in the past. So you can go through the channel and watch as many videos as possible and become enlightened. We still have more sessions coming up. We have fish farming, and the fish farming session. We have the hydroponics. All right, we have a mushroom farming. A lot of things. So just stay tuned and keep sharing this link. Make sure you share this broadcast with everybody you know so that they can join in all of the live sessions. So that said, I'll see you guys in the next session. Cheers.